Hello. Okay. So it looks like the reunion of Potomac was very intense. I have some clips I'm going to show you guys. It looks like Wendy and Stacy had a thing. And then also the ladies think Stacy's being performative. Tia basically was clocking Stacy. We're going to get into that. There's also some updates on the Ashley Darby hooking up with Sharice's son, which we are going to get into. Can I just ask that you guys please hit that like button, share this video if you haven't already, and hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed already. Okay, let me share my screen and let's get into it. So let me just start with the first one. Let's go hard. Let's start with the Wendy of it all. It's the weirdest thing. I got logged out of Instagram. Guys, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to log myself back in. Why isn't it working? Okay, it is working now. Okay. All right, guys. Let me share this with you guys. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to refresh it so it starts from the beginning. Now let's go.
Anastasia from Dallas said at last year's reunion you were adamant about not opening your own cannabis line.
You trying to start your own, Happy Eddie? Oh, are you? Huh? Stacy? Yeah.
Just to turn around this season and launch your own cannabis line. Can you admit the gears were in motion to open this business last year?
I can admit that I held many meetings about many business endeavors, and it wasn't a done deal. So why would you
This is the thing. Now, I hear what Stacy's saying, and I know there's some people that are like, Stacy don't owe them ish. But at the end of the day, why not just be honest and say, yes, you know what? There were a lot of meetings. I'm in meetings. It's not decided yet, but I am considering it. Cannabis is a huge industry. Don't know yet, but I am considering it. That could have sufficed. I don't think anyone was expecting her to give like the lowdown of her business plan, or this is what I'm going to call it and this is what I'm doing. But I think this just goes back to what we say about Stacy is a liar. It is a lie to decide to say no. You're not trying to start your Happy Stacy or Happy Eddie type of business. You completely denied it. You didn't even say, well, I don't have anything right now. You completely denied it. You completely acted like what Giselle was saying is a complete lie. You sat in that lady's face and you played in her face. And as much as people like Stacy, and that is cool, I feel like you kind of have to be honest that she was not being transparent. She was not being honest. And so whether or not lies affect you or you find it annoying, at the very least she was not being transparent, right? And so I just think like there's just something to be said of that. And I feel like Stacy can do better at just being forthcoming. I think that's also why the people feel like she is performative and she's not trustworthy, because it's like even things that don't require lies, she finds a way to lie about it. And nobody really needs you to lie about these things. It's not that deep. You are allowed to start a business, a cannabis business, right? You are on the same show, you are exposed to a lot of the same things. Cannabis industry is a huge industry. I understand someone wanting to go into that business, right? So you could have literally said cannabis is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and so it is something that I am considering, but it's still in the beginning stages. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead with it. But at the very least, I am looking into different things. I just think that a lie is a lie. And doing something like this is a lie. It's a blatant lie.
To get back into it because I don't owe you that, Giselle.
But I said, hey, Stacey's coming in competition for
I get it, right? I don't owe you that. Then you could have said that at the reunion last season. You could have said, do you know what? I don't owe you that. You could have openly said, that's none of your business. Whether or not I'm starting a cannabis line is none of your business. You will find out when you need to find out. That could have ate. That could have been great. Instead, you chose to lie, and then now you are literally playing in the people's faces.
And I did not have a cannabis
absolutely
line.
not.
Absolutely
No cannabis.
not when you
And then as
asked
soon as
me.
we first started the season, you're like, oh, I'm starting a cannabis line. It's just like, why wouldn't you say I'm in meetings? Or maybe, or I'm thinking about it.
I'm not sure why she cares. Because I absolutely did not have a cannabis line when you asked me.
Okay, Stacy. Okay.
Wendy, did Stacey have pure intentions in naming her company with a Nigerian word? Anastasia, Nigerian word.
Do you guys, let me pause it for a second. Do you guys believe that Stacy had ill intentions when she named her cannabis brand a Nigerian name as well? Put it in the chat, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it was intentional? Do you guys think it was a way to get back at Eddie and Wendy for the bring Eddie out situation of last season with TJ? Let me know in the chat.
Stacy knew what she was doing, honoring my Nigerian heritage.
The Nigerians want the name back.
Wendy is like, girl, please stop playing in our faces.
I think
Tia said the Nigerians want their name back. Okay, she said it in a funny way, and it seems like everybody's laughing, so including Stacy. So I guess it's cool.
that was the way for Stacy to get back at Eddie and I for doing the TJ thing. That's an interesting thought. That's
Ooh.
that's what I think.
Interesting. Oh, that's
What do you guys think? Do you guys think Wendy is right? And also, how do you feel about Wendy saying that? Because it's definitely given, I think Wendy and Stacy have very different perspective on who and how to show up as a friend. I feel like from Wendy's perspective, Wendy feels like she still needs to tell her opinion when she is asked. You can see that Stacy was expecting her to handle that differently, but she didn't. And so, what do you guys think? Honestly, I don't know.
you think she's that deep?
I think she's that smart.
Oh,
I do.
So it's almost like Wendy's telling us that there's a conniving nature to Stacy, and there's a part of Stacy where it's like, if you do me dirty, I'm gonna do you back. What do you guys think? Do you guys believe Wendy or not? I think the thing with the whole Wendy of it all is it almost feels like, Wendy, are you Stacy's friend or are you just acquaintances? Because it definitely sometimes is low-key not giving friendship. Is low-key given Wendy is not your friend, sis. And maybe she's just tolerating you. Maybe she enjoys being around you, but I don't think she sees you as a friend. And I know I say that because I feel like Stacey is always talking about, oh, I spent some time, with her. She's my sister. And it's like, it's given you find her to be your sister, but she does not find a sister in you. And so I don't know. Maybe Wendy is just not capable of being a friend to Stacey or anybody. Or Stacy doesn't make it easy to be friends with her because she is constantly lying. And so I can see both sides being a part of it. But yeah.
Nigerian word.
Let me see what the people are saying in the chat. Oh yeah, Stacy's in the first seat. And isn't it interesting? Stacy and Wendy are right next to Andy. I don't know why no one can comprehend not talking about a business deal that hasn't been secured and mentioned on national TV might not be the best look, especially if it falls through. Kempire, my love, I love you, but I'm gonna have to say it's not that people can't comprehend not talking about a business deal. What people are saying is there are other ways in which she could have responded to that, which includes I don't have a cannabis business at the moment. If that changes, you will be the first to know. That could have been something else. She could have answered it in so many different ways other than saying no. Right? I just feel like that is a blatant lie. Stacy needs to realize that Wendy is not her friend. Wendy flips on Stacy every chance she gets. What case about Wendy makes sense? Exactly. And now it's starting to look like that's exactly what I was saying. Like it's feeling like, is Wendy really a friend? Because I understand feeling a certain way, but it's like, why does it feel like every opportunity you get, there is some sort of pushback on Stacy a little bit? So I don't know. Well, it seems like the more people are saying they're like, Wendy is not a real friend. Yeah, and this person said the point is she lied and for no reason. Yep. She is always lying for no reason. That's what I've come to realize, and it's no longer a shock for me. All right, let's move on to Stacy versus Tia.
Vanity Fair's best performances of 2025
Yes,
list.
sir.
Ladies, round of applause.
God is good.
All the
Won't
time.
he do it? All the time.
How did that make you feel when you saw that?
Incredibly humbled and grateful.
Giselle, what was your reaction?
Potomac has gotten some drama, and we have people that were in jail. I'm sorry, Wendy, we had Karen, and it was just like, oh, this is positive. So, congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Stacy, do you consider what you do on the show to be a performance? One could say that is exactly what these ladies take issue with when it comes to you.
I think that one.
Here's what I think the people need to understand about Stacy. Stacy takes it as work, honey. She is there to do a job, and the job she will do. Now, does that mean she's performative? Absolutely. I agree. I think she's performative. I get the impression every time that she's on the show that the show is some big performance. Yep. And I don't think that is going to change. I don't necessarily think my opinion on that is going to change. But I think also maybe that's the problem with some of the people, right? I think some of the people don't think of it as a job and then they get too comfortable. So there are both sides to it. On the one hand, I get the whole seeing it as a job. On the other hand, it's like, let's also not take the authenticity out of the equation.
One of the most beautiful things about my QVC videos coming to light is that you are able to see
the girls really don't like her. Look at Tia's face. Tia is looking pressed. Tia does not like Stacy one bit.
that I always was the same person.
Even Andy is looking like, I do not believe this BS you just spinned in front of my eyes.
I think it's very clear.
Like Andy is like, what in the world? But that is the thing. She's very witty with it, that you just sit and you roll your eyes and you're like, what the heck? Who does this girl think she's talking to? Like, I'm smarter than this. But then that's just the reality of things.
Clear.
You were performing
You
for
were working.
QVC.
Yeah, that's a job. That was your job.
Ashley said you were performing for QVC, and she's like,
Indeed. But I think that you can see.
So she's basically letting y'all know when I'm at work, I'm at work. Reality TV or not, I'm at work. Okay? So my performance, I am going to be performing the whole time. Do with that what you will.
I think that you can see my personality.
Stacy,
my genuine joy of being alive. I think that
Nobody is falling for it.
you can see that runs through when you see those videos.
I agree.
I would say that
Well, Wendy did back her up here. I think Wendy sometimes doesn't think things through. And so it's like if you ask her what her opinion is, she is going to tell you what her opinion is, regardless of whether or not you are her friend. I think that's the vibe I get.
I've sat in front of Stacey on a plane coming back from one of the car trips, and I could hear somebody speak, and I didn't even know it was her because her voice was completely different.
Yeah, I think the slip shows every now and then. Like if I'm not mistaken, there was it when Wendy and Stacy kind of had their thing. There was a point on the show that I remember thinking, "Oh wow, that does not sound like Stacy." And so I do guess it because like when I'm at work, the way I sound when I'm at work is so different from how I sound when I'm in my yard, right? The way I sound when I'm on the phone to my friends is so different from how I sound outside of being on the phone to my friends or, in certain spaces. So I feel like a lot of black people are very used to code switching. Some of you may not agree with me, but as somebody who has unintentionally been in certain positions where, I had to be a lot more, use less colloquial language and stuff like that, and I had to sound a certain way, I would just at work naturally just transition to speaking a certain way. And then outside of work, I sound different, right? So I think we all do it. I think it's just interesting because reality TV, everyone expects you to show your reality and just be who you are at home. But it sounds like Stacey's like, I'm still at a job, honey. I am going to be performing.
What is that tone and cadence?
It's her voice is deeper, and she uses a little bit more colloquial terms, and it's not.
Yes, which is normal, right? Like it's normal. And you all know I don't particularly, I like Stacy, but I hate the lies. Let's just put it that way. But I definitely get the when you see that space as work, you speak a certain way. But when I'm with my homegirls, I sound different. That's just do with that what you will. It's not an intentional switch. That's just what that is.
Well, you are the queen of accents, so you could call it.
Can I just say something about this accent thing? I do feel that Stacey has a QVC voice, but I just thought she was looking for something to pin on me, and that's what she found. Because I have an English accent, and that clearly triggers you because you married up and you're trying to be prim and proper.
Oh, no, I didn't marry up, and it's not.
Oof. Not that you married up now. She probably did marry up, but what is wrong in marrying up? Ain't nothing wrong with it. In fact, you should marry up. You know what I mean? Right? Like so do with that what you will, honey. I love when women marry up, or marry at the same level in which they are. I don't think we should be glorifying people marrying down. Look at Candy, right? Look at how things went for her. So I'm just saying, like, I don't think marrying up is the insult Tia may think it is, in my opinion.
Not about your English accent. It's about how it doesn't ring true when you talk. Personality.
Now, you guys know we've talked about this Tia's accent. I think what a lot of people also don't understand is there are lots of different British accents, a lot of different ones, or English accent, if you want to call it that, right? Depending on where you're from, you may sound slightly different. A lot of people that I know that went to boarding school, they kind of sound a little bit like Tia, right? And so let's also realize Tia has also lived in America for a long time. Accent is not going to be as strong as somebody who was born and bred and stayed in the UK and hardly ever travels or mingles with people outside of the UK, right? If, for me, for instance, I've traveled a lot, I mingle a lot with people who are Americans. I'm low-key American. Do you know what I mean? Like, so my accent is not, I don't have like a formal I feel like yes, sometimes I say things that are like, oh, that's a little bit British, And then sometimes it sounds more American, sometimes it sounds a little bit Nigerian, because like I'm very immersed in all of these different communities. And so is my accent. My accent is a fusion, right? And so I just say that. So I personally don't see Tia's accent in the way in which Stacey is saying it personally. I'm just gonna put my hand up. So I disagree with Stacey on that.
A genuine joy of being alive. I think that you can see that runs through when you see those videos.
I agree. I would say that I've sat in front of Stacey.
Okay, so we've watched that. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Tia's accent is fake? And do you guys also think that Stacey puts on a QVC voice and is out here just performing for everybody, really? And that's not truly what her accent is like. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. Okay, now let's talk about the Ashley Derby of it all. But before that, let's see what Andy has to say to the cast. And then let's get into the Ashley of it all.
10 seasons, Giselle and Ashley, what has surprised you the most about this journey, would you say?
Maybe that we're still here.
Okay, they've been there 10 seasons.
Right.
When we started, it was like we didn't really know what to expect of the process. We didn't know how fans would receive us. And man, it's an honor to still be sitting here.
Yeah, I think this big surprise is how large of a show this is. Like, you travel internationally, people know your name, people are screaming. So it's humbling.
I think the other thing that people may not realize is when we started filming, we didn't know at Bravo and at Truly that this was going to be a Real Housewives.
Yes, Ladies Up.
We thought it was going to be Ladies of Potomac.
Yes.
And
Oh, I see. I never knew it was they weren't sure if it was going to be a housewife show, and they thought it would be going to be a called Ladies of Potomac. I guess that's similar to the Ladies of London thing.
then so when it became a Housewives, were you happy with that news?
Oh, totally.
Oh, you were?
Oh,
Yes.
my gosh, yeah. Because, I mean, it's an established franchise. Like,
Yeah.
we want to be housewives.
I grew up watching it,
Yeah.
so I was like, to be a part of it, yes.
Yeah.
We also didn't know, by the way, if it was gonna be Potomac Housewives
Right.
or what the
Yeah.
town. Here we are, ladies.
Yeah.
Town. Here we are.
Here we are.
Let me say this, by the way. I went to Karen Huger's home, as you
Uh-huh.
saw
Yeah.
last week, and
Andy looks so happy about the going to Karen's home. He definitely loves himself some Karen, honey. He loves himself some Karen. Like the way he's like, oh, I went to Karen's home. Like, okay. Interestingly enough, thinking about the fact that Giselle and Ashley have been on the show for 10 seasons, I would like to say I know the people don't like them, but I feel like at the very least, when Ashley was with Michael, Ashley brought some energy towards that. And I think Giselle has always brought the drama in some way, shape, or form throughout all of the seasons of Potomac. So I definitely feel like if there was no Giselle in particular on the show, I personally would struggle to see who is going to be pushing the storylines, who is going to be pushing things forward on the show. That's where I stand. Because I know the people don't like Giselle and Ashley, but it's like if you remove Giselle and Ashley, who is going to push the show forward? Who is going to push the storylines? Who's going to force people to talk about things they don't want to talk about?
what a beautiful
Yeah.
neighborhood
Is
area.
that your first time in Potomac?
I think it was.
Really?
Actually. Yes.
Okay. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely beautiful.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely stunning.
Which then begs the question, don't all of them live in Potomac? Is it that only some of them live in Potomac and then the rest don't? That would be very interesting.
So, is there a group chat among everybody?
No.
Yes.
No.
I thought there was one.
We used to have one.
Oh, yeah.
You
It
did?
hasn't been used in a while.
Last season.
Last
Last
season we
season
had
9 we
Season 9?
season 9.
Yeah, we have one.
Season 9 we have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no, there's one from the group trip from Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if I care much about whether or not they have a group chat. I don't know if I think or care about the fact that they have a group chat personally.
That Angel sent to everybody.
But I don't think it's been used since.
Oh, but
Oh,
what did
okay.
it do?
All right.
Oh, I thought the question was, did it exist?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm wondering who y'all talk to most from another Bravo show. Is there
Okay, I don't actually mind them asking them a little question or little questions about like the franchises, the other Real Housewives, because I really just I'm curious to see like what the people do or who they interact with outside of the show. Giselle better say Kyle because the way she ran over there to Kyle with the news of Maurizio coming on the show, I would like to hope she talks to Kyle regularly, but I guess we'll hear it now.
someone that you're close with on another Bravo show, Kay?
Yeah, Dr. Simone. I love her
Okay, so Kay is cool with Dr. Simone. Interesting.
so much.
I would not have placed them together at all. I don't know where that connection formed. I hope that she would talk about it.
So I talk to her often.
Yes.
She's great. Yeah.
Angel, you meet anyone at BravoCon that you connected with?
Yes, Phaedra.
Yeah.
Yes, Phaedra. I talk to her often. She's given me a lot of OG advice. Toya, and then of course we have a new housewife coming up on Atlanta that I'm really, really close with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What about you, Tia? Did you meet anybody at BravoCon?
I met people at BravoCon, but in terms of who I keep in touch with the most from Bravo, it's Dr. Jackie, because she was my doctor when I had.
Okay, so it sounds like Angel is getting some OG advice from Phaedra. It's like, my question is, when did you start getting that OG advice? Was that before the season or after the season? Guys, please hit that like button if you haven't already. That's my question. When did Phaedra start giving you OG advice? Was this after the show or before the show? Also, what kind of advice did Toya give you? Because Toya would have told your A to stand up for yourself. My suspicion would be maybe she met the people after BravoCon. And so maybe moving forward, if Angel does come in for the next season, maybe we'll get a slightly different version of Angel who would be probably a firecracker and would be a little bit more confrontational because of because of the people she's mentioned that she has been talking to. She says she's been talking to Toya, Phaedra, and who was the other person she said? I can't remember who the third person was. But if you're talking to Toya and Phaedra, surely they'll be telling you how to stand up for yourself and hopefully how to come back next season. So I hope she brings it at the reunion if she wants an opportunity to come back. But if she doesn't bring it at the reunion, then she is definitely getting caught.
My first daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've been speaking with her all throughout the process of even coming on to
Oh,
the
that's
show.
great.
Yeah.
What advice did Dr. Jackie give you, or what was the best advice?
I'm not sure how much advice you're going to be able to get from Dr. Jackie because she doesn't really do much on her show Married to Medicine. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like we barely see her in terms of the interaction with the rest of the ladies, except on like cast trips. So I'm not really sure how much advice Jackie can really bring to you, in my opinion.
She gave you.
She said, don't just be on TV to be on TV and be true to who you are and your morals and stuff.
That's very good advice.
Poignant.
Well, to be fair, that's good advice. That's really, really good advice. And I think like that's like an advice that I feel like everyone should hear across the board. Like, don't get into like this whole TV of it all, the drama, and then really actually forget the other things that you do and why you are there, right? I think it always works for people who seem to have a plan. For all of Stacy's lies and mistakes, it is obvious that she knew what she wanted before she came on the show. I think she had spoken to a lot of people. If I'm not mistaken, she had been trying to get on the show for a long time. And so I feel like she sat down, explored, and thought about the kind of character of who she wanted to be, and then decided to come on the show and perform. And so I feel like, I guess it is what it is, right? And so I guess she really decided to understand the lay of the land and show up in that way.
Yes. Stacy, what about you?
I speak often with Angela and Portia from Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay, so she speaks to Angela and Portia. Okay, Giselle, are you okay there? I don't know if she likes the fact that her and Portia speak because Giselle and Portia are also tight. I could definitely see Angela and Portia. I also feel like they have very similar personalities in the whole like bury their head in the sand a little bit, being in the clouds, being a little bit like in their own little bubble, and it's almost like you're fighting with yourself when you're fighting them. So that's definitely very. I can understand how Angela and Portia and her are friends.
They are big champions of mine, and I love them for their support.
Wendy, who are you closest with?
I'm gonna give the men some love. I love Reza.
Okay.
Reza's my buddy. Reza has been
I'm not sure who Raza is, to be completely honest.
a champion of me. He was a speaker when I was teaching and being a professor.
Yes, Phaedra.
So he came and shared some words of wisdom with my students.
Yes, as did I.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Andy was like, don't you forget that I did as well. Don't you forget that I came on your platform to speak to your students as well. Okay, Andy, you better speak up.
My students still talk about you.
Okay, nice.
I was supposed to.
Yeah, you were supposed
Oh,
to.
did you get
No,
bumped, Giselle?
Wendy left.
Oh,
It's my turn.
okay.
I submit my resignation. But
Okay.
next time you'll be the first speaker.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All
I'll
right.
make up for it.
Giselle, who are you closest with? I don't know.
Oh, you know, Portia.
Portia. Yeah. Ashley.
Teresa.
So yes, she's closest to Portia. So you can tell that she did not like that Stacy and Portia are also chimey. Very, very interesting.
To Judice. Mary
Really?
Cosby, actually.
Marianne.
Mary's my home.
Ah, so Ashley and Mary are cool. I would not have paired them up at all.
She's lovely.
Really?
She's
Yes.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Personally.
All right. Anyone doing
That's like night and day, honey. Night and day. I guess weird people do connect.
anything special to prepare for today besides watch all the rest of the episodes?
I did a water fast
Okay.
to cleanse my energy.
How'd that go?
Well, 36 hours of just water was
Wow.
interesting.
Okay.
Girl, are you sure that was the best time to do that? Because I would, if I was doing that, I would be hungry and angry because I'm hungry.
I do, actually. I feel light and lifted.
I
Wow.
did that. I got angry.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I am that person. Like, if I'm fasting for that long, days and days on end, best believe I will probably be a little angry. Unless maybe I've done it multiple times. You know, when you've been fasting for a long time and your body's now accustomed to the fast, then maybe I'll be cool and I'll have a bunch of and I'll have enough energy. But if I've just been fasting and yeah, I'm not sure whether or not I would be showing up. I would be a little angry. I'm sorry, because I would be hungry.
Are you angry?
No, it was it was like meditation.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, stay tuned. We're going to see how that worked out for young Ashley here.
Exactly. We'll have to wait and see how the heck that works out for her. Because don't play games. Absolutely, we'll have to see how that works out for her. But now let's move on to Ashley, the Ashley of it all. So, Ashley was asked about this whole hookup with Charisse. Okay, so she's finally giving, I guess, a little bit of an acknowledgement about, you know, if it hurt Charisse, she's sorry and all of that. So let's listen and we'll talk about it.
Confession about hooking up with Charisse's son, Jackson Jordan. What made you want to tell Charisse that in the moment?
It's been just kind of sitting on me for a while. It's been sitting on me for 2 years now.
Oh my.
And, you know, I wanted Charisse back on the show.
Yeah.
I have.
So is she trying to insinuate that she wanted Charisse back on the show is why she basically brought up the fact that Charisse's son and her had a thing?
And I almost told her umpteen times, right? And I was going to take it to my grave and just be like, because Jackson was like, you know, I keep my love life private from my mom.
Okay, so Jackson even told you. Do you know how that is an invasion of his privacy? That man told you he keeps his life separate from his mom and he doesn't like to tell his mom or involve his mom in his love life. Yet you decided to still go ahead to talk about it.
And I was like, but that's also,
It's like, where is the limit? sis, where is, you know, when some people have a line somewhere that they're like, do you know what, I'm never going to cross this line? It almost feels like Ashley does not have that line. And when you don't have that line, that is a problem. It's like concerning, to be completely honest.
So my friend, you know, like granted she had given it her blessing and jokingly in the past. She did. She was like, can you be my daughter-in-law? She would actually ask that.
Yes, and to be honest, someone else has corroborated that particular statement, that she would always make jokes about Ashley being her daughter-in-law. So yes, I believe Ashley on that one.
And so I was like, hey girl, like this could be your chance. Get you back on the show.
I'm crying.
In the scene, I thought
So you kissed her son and thought that that would be a chance for her to get back on the show. And you don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like if anything, it even makes it worse. Because I just don't understand. It makes it worse. Like, what do you mean that, oh, this could be, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, my goodness. Ashley, you keep making it worse. I wish that Ashley would just keep quiet. But the problem is she's not keeping quiet and she keeps talking about it. That makes it so worse.
she was gonna like throw champagne in my face, you know, flip the table, do a whole thing. Nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
So according to Ashley, Ashley thought that she was going to pipe up and be upset about it, but she wasn't upset about it. So you told her to set her up to be dramatic so you can get her back on the show. This is what I mean about sometimes these people, they need to just focus on being the talent and not the producer. Sometimes when you're focused on being a producer as well as the talent, you can lose sight of what it is that you're doing and start orchestrating drama. How is that not you trying to orchestrate drama? It sounds like you really wanted her to give you a reaction and she didn't. And it's interesting that she said she probably thought Ashley just said it for a storyline. And she was technically right, because that's exactly what it sounds like Ashley is now admitting. The whole thing is just so weird to me and so completely unnecessary. It's like, why do that? What is that really necessary? Did you have to do that?
So do you still talk to him at all?
No, we don't speak. After one of the biggest after Potomac and Ponies, he like wanted to hang out,
but this is the thing. Did you have to say that he wanted to hang out? You wanted to also expose that he still tried to link up afterwards. Oh gosh, this is why you have to be careful who you mess around with, because people out here, there is no discretion no more, honey. Now the whole world knows your business. Now, Jackson, the whole world knows after Potomac and Ponies, you tried to hang out with him, with Ashley rather, and she turned it down.
Yeah, I put a stop to that. Can you imagine? Yeah, I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel bad about it, honestly, because if Charisse genuinely feels the way she does, I am remorseful.
Yeah.
I don't like the way she's going about it. And that is where I'm losing respect for her. But if she's genuinely upset, I can acknowledge, like, I crossed a line and we can deal with it. But if you're going to keep defaming me and saying all this stuff and talking bad about my character, then we have another problem.
Were you surprised at how?
Actually, I feel like you saying she defamed you is a bit too... It seems like a huge stretch, in my opinion. It seems like a huge stretch. Because what did she say that was defaming to you? As far as I know, I don't recall her saying anything that I thought was defamatory. I think she expressed her opinions about why you did what you did and what you did, but I don't remember her specifically lying on you. So if you think she was defaming you, I'm going to need you to call out which part. What exactly did she say that you felt was defamatory? That is what I would need her to clarify.
Well, kind of like the audience reacted to all of it, how it just blew up.
Not really. I mean, it's salacious. Yeah. And I know it was salacious. I've been doing this show long enough to know
what's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So she knew it was going to be salacious. She wanted it to be salacious, and she provided us exactly that. And so I guess with everything in mind and everything that we now know, I feel like to an extent Charisse was right, because Charisse was like, she just thought it was like a storyline thing that was just brought up in front of her, and that's how she took it. She did not exactly think it was the truth. And so it felt like Charisse was ready to play into the storyline until she realized, like, yo, bro, this is actually the truth. Like, you really had something to do with my son. And so I think that's where the disconnect came in. But it's still very, very odd. I think it's also interesting that she gives the impression that it's like, why are you trying to make it seem like you were trying to do her? Let me say that again. Why does it seem like Ashley was trying to make it seem like she was trying to do Charisse a favor by bringing it on the show? It's like, girl, I was trying to get you your job back. Like, why did you feel like you wanted to help her get her job back? Why not bring her in on the joke? So she knows, okay, I'm going to do this because I'm trying to get your son. Excuse me, sorry, guys, I'm a little tired. Okay. So why do it in that way? It didn't need to go to that extent at all. Okay, so I'm going to play you guys one more clip of the Ashley of it all. I had 3 clips, but I am tired. I do not have the energy to continue to talk about this. So let me play this one for you guys, and then I will call this a night. Okay, let me share this. Let me just refresh so it starts from the beginning. Okay.
Controversy with Charisse's son. What do you make of all of that, and where do you stand on the matter now?
It's just very interesting that I'm sort of removed past it, Marissa. Yeah. Honestly, I put a button on it at the reunion, as everyone will see. I do think it's interesting that Charisse sat here in this studio and I was the main topic of conversation. So for that, I give her, you're welcome. And quite frankly, I'm just over it. What happened, happened. I'm glad everybody's getting a little kiki out of it.
Yeah, I hear it, right? I hear it. And in a way, I'm with Ashley. Like, I'm over it. I don't want us to talk about it anymore. But because it keeps coming up, it's just like, all right, fine. Let's just talk about it. The bit that gags me was when she was talking about the kiss. And I'm just like, sis, you were the one that gave us the impression it was more than a kiss. So whose fault? Like, why would you do that?
I'm glad I made good TV, and it's giving something for people to talk about.
Well, yeah. I was with her, as you're well aware, when we had that discussion. One thing she did say that stood out to me, and it didn't get as much traction as I thought it would. She said, I love Ashley. So she was hurt by what happened. Did you sense that at all when you watched the discussion?
It's very challenging because I told her in the moment, I was willing to respect her reaction in that moment completely. She laughed. We had a kiki about it. We celebrated her birthday 2 months later. We were out at park dancing, having a time until 3 a.m. So for that reason, it's hard for me to think like she was really hurt. If anything, I feel like Charisse is maximizing this opportunity. And if that's what she's doing, fine. I see the game. But to act like this is something genuinely heartfelt is going a little too far.
Oh, so you all hung out after she knew about the kiss?
Yes.
Yep, I also heard that as well. And so it was definitely given some sort of delayed response, which is why I feel like the people on the internet riled Charisse up, and which is why Charisse then started talking about it again. But honestly, I'm so over talking about this whole kiss thing. But the bit I want you guys to hear is sort of what she alludes to it being more than a kiss, but it was actually just a kiss.
We did.
But was it after she had watched Which Happens Live when you admitted that something more could have transpired between you and Jackson?
If we reference back to the footage, when I told Charisse in the moment at the Peacock Cafe, I said, well, Charisse, what if something more happened playing with her? And she laughed. She laughed yet again. So I've sort of been teasing it a little bit, playing it up a little bit to her face on Watch What Happens Live. I've been the same. I've been consistent. Her reaction, not so much.
But
Okay. So this is what I mean about producer. It's definitely given. Ashley did this to piss us off. And this is one of the reasons Ashley has been on the show for a long time. Ashley started this conversation knowing dang well it was just a kiss. Yet she alluded to it being more than a kiss to get our attention, to get us talking about it, to get us sort of wondering, was it a kiss? Was it more than a kiss? And so then now it became a huge storyline and the people were talking about it. When in reality, it was nothing but a kiss 2 years ago. Right now, I still stand by what I said about there's no reason for you to be out here kissing someone that you knew as a child. I stand by that. When you guys told me that they knew each other when the boy was a kid. So yeah, I have an issue with that. But outside of that, I actually think it's like, girl, everything seems contrived just for the sake of television. And the problem is, we don't want to know that you're plotting and scheming for TV. We just want to feel like, oh, it's all honest and you show up and this is what's happening in your real life. And it just happened to tell us, as opposed to it being so heavily produced. But the more I hear this reality TV stars talk about their shows and what happens on the shows, it definitely gives the impression that, in actual honesty, nothing is really reality TV. Everything is contrived, everything is produced to look a certain way, to be a certain way. And that's definitely what I am noticing from all of these shows, not just the Bravo shows, even the own shows, even Love and Marriage Huntsville. You see that a lot of it gets heavily produced, and that is the vibe that I'm getting.
Something happened more than a kiss?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why allude to it?
It's
Ashley?
for fun. I
okay,
mean,
so that was for
yeah,
because
like,
I think that's at the crux of the drama and the controversy, the heat that people have for you because they believe that you all were full on intimate.
Well,
and
again,
you're saying
I told Sharice that in the moment when I
In the
told her.
moment.
So
Okay.
yeah, I haven't reneged on anything. I haven't changed my story. I've kept it 100.
Actually, you have not kept it 100 or whatever. You haven't kept it 100 because you alluded to something more happening, knowing fully well nothing more happened. So you made it seem like there was more that happened when now you're telling us nothing more happened. So who are we to believe? And should we believe you when you were alluding to more happening, or should we believe you now when you say that nothing happened but a kiss? Like, you see why we're struggling to believe you and why the people are struggling with you, Ashley, because on the one hand, if we go by the way you've been alluding to stuff, it gives the impression something more happened. But if we believe what you're telling us now, then it's like, oh, ain't nothing happened but a kiss. Now, still, a kiss is wrong. But how are we to trust you, Ashley? Especially when you talked about doing it for storyline, doing it so Sharice could come. Now you're admitting to alluding to it being more just for fun. It's like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you playing games with the people? And this is why the people don't see it for you or want you to be on the show, because they don't even know how to take you. Like, who are you in this moment, right? And so, yes, I definitely stand by that. That's how I feel. I feel like Ashley had no business playing games with people's lives. You know, that boy said he did not want his mama in his business. Now his mom has had to do all these interviews talking about his business. He shouldn't be placed in that kind of position just because he kissed you in private when it wasn't on TV. You shouldn't have brought it on TV for whatever reason, yet you chose to do it. So that's just where I stand on that. But let me know what you guys think of all the stories we covered today. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you know every single time that I post or go live. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone. Bye.